Welcome to another episode of Mr. Therapist and the Counselor Podcast, where we discuss mental health. We discuss recovery topics. We discuss stuff on relationships, man. We discuss so much. And
you say addiction?
And addiction.
There we go, man.
And addiction.
That's right. Recovery, addiction.
And we're here to demystify the process of therapy. Jesse O, what are we talking about today, bud?
This week, we are going to bring more on the topic of Movember, men's mental health, bring awareness to that. Manny, as I mentioned in the last episode, we're going to talk about Manny found this article, which I'm like very discreet on that article, but he's going to explain it so much better and clearer. And question of the week, a whole lot more. Thanksgiving's like right around the corner. Holy shit, get your tofurkey on. You know?
You're a vegetarian.
No, tofurkey.
Yeah, nice.
The turducken.
Is that good? It's fake meat?
Yeah, I've never had it before.
It's not good.
Would you call me a vegan?
A vegetarian.
I'm not a vegetarian.
Oh, then why?
I'll get down with some
turkey.
Then
why are you eating tofurkey?
Yum.
Then why are you eating tofurkey?
What's that stuff?
Remember that one restaurant you took me to, and it was like, I want some steak, and I got a burger, and it was like a bean burger. I was like, what is this?
Oh, it's called the San Clemente. We took one of our guests there. He loved that, though.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
That was, what's his name?
Don't name the restaurant.
Oh, okay. I was about to.
Don't.
But so much more this week on Mr. Therapist and the Counselor Podcast.
If you get some value from the show, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Send in your questions, too, to Manny at MrTherapistMFT.com. We'll put that on the show. But, send in your questions. We want to answer your questions. We want to hear from you.
Dude, it's November, bro.
Dude, it's November.
Thanksgiving's like almost here.
It's November 22nd, 2024.
Damn, bro, that was so good.
Yeah, dude. You ready for Thanksgiving?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Oh,
when
please.
did November turn into men's mental health? Because I don't remember it being that way for a long time.
So we talked about this a little bit, right? Movember used to be for testicular cancer? Prostate
cancer.
Okay.
Maybe testicular.
Maybe
it is.
Can you
the
look
testes.
it up?
Maybe it is.
I don't want you. Don't mess up the recording.
These.
Should I look it up?
No, I got it.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, keep flowing.
Please do not mess up this recording.
Flow.
Movember, yeah, I thought it was for that, and then I thought Movember was also like you're supposed to grow out your mustache. You're supposed to grow out a mustache for that month as well, right? To support that. But now Movember is for men's mental health, like awareness.
Yeah, so now it's saying Movember is men's mental health awareness campaign that raises funds and awareness for both prostate and testicular cancer.
Wait, so did you screw up on this?
What?
Is it not Men's Mental Health Awareness Month?
Did you? Yeah, I did.
I did. I don't listen. You know I never listen to you say words.
Movember is it says men's health awareness. Okay. Yeah, but it's also men's mental health. Oh my gosh,
dude. Let's just trash this episode.
No.
Let's, you know what?
No.
It's okay.
Movember is also men's mental health month.
No, it's not.
Yes,
no, it's not,
is.
dude. We done screwed up.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
No, the growing of the mustache supports prostate cancer and testicular cancer.
What's your problem with balls?
Nothing.
What's up with that mustache then?
But I will say this.
It's been all month.
Dude, this has been a year's work.
Woo! There we go.
I'm not less of a man, okay?
That's true.
That's true. But, if someone's going through some physical ailments.
Mustache problems, yeah.
Prostate or testicular cancer, they're going through some mental health stuff.
For sure.
It should be Men's Mental Health Month.
So we just we turned it into something, y'all. Movember means something new on Mr. Therapist and the Counselor Podcast. How you checking in today?
Checking in good, man. I was just thinking, the last episode we did, I was wearing my Cruz Azul jersey. So the
Mexican football.
You put the foo and football.
That's right. I get that joke now.
You laugh. So this team that I have, this Cruz Azul team, right?
Okay. Continue this conversation.
They are kind of like the Chargers, right? Like they're kind of that team. Like they've won championships. They were big at one point, but like they won a lot of championships back to back, right?
The Chargers?
But hold on, no. This team, but they went like 15, 16 years without winning a championship, and everybody was clowning on them.
Yeah.
And you know how they say the Chargers are charging, like they're gonna screw this up somehow.
Okay.
They say Cruz Azul la va a Cruz Azulear, meaning that the Cruz Azul are gonna Cruz Azul it. You know. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking about this, and then with the recent, we didn't talk about this, but Dodgers winning the World Series, back in October. I was thinking because I'm a Padre fan, and I was like, man, why do I choose just these like teams that
you like
just
like
give
to
me a
feel
headache,
sad
dude?
So
why do I choose these like just toe up teams, dude? Like toe up from the flow up.
Don't forget they chose you, bro.
Oh my goodness, there's something that gotta be going on here. Anyway, so yeah, I bask myself in misery all the time because, all these teams need to level up.
Should have texted Randy Garcia about the Dodgers winning. He loves the Dodgers.
He loves the Dodgers.
Gosh, he was one of our first guests.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. So that Weekend at Bernie's. You gotta check out our. That was our second show. That was our second episode.
No, I think it might. But it was our second guest.
First guest.
But I think like fourth or fifth episode. We have a huge catalog there on Spotify and Apple Podcast. You ever You ever just go through all the episodes and go, "Wow, dude"?
I don't.
Wow, look at all this stuff that we did, all this work we put in. So
it's great. It's been over a year.
Yeah.
70-something shows. Yeah. Damn, it's crazy.
It's crazy. So.
But yeah, so that's what I've been reflecting on this week, just how I pick crappy teams, and my family's a competitive family and a sports family, so I am leading them towards these teams that will give them heartbreak. But the Patriots used to be a clowned on team until they started winning like back to back, and we're a dynasty. So the glory days are coming.
Yeah, they are. So
what were you about to say? Sorry.
What was it?
What were you about to say?
Nothing. It wasn't.
You just trying to cut me off?
No, just like, I was.
Dude, why don't you ever listen to me, dude?
What? Just kidding.
My Lord. How are you checking in, bud?
Checking in today.
Show you how you listen.
Last week, I shared, or 2 weeks ago, I shared kind of what I was going through. At least for this week, I'm, good space today. I think some stress and anxiety and just balance right now, which I'm trying to a lot going on. Holidays are going on, are coming up as well.
Yep.
I've mentioned this, and I will continue to mention this because this is my DNA. This is my makeup here. Is that end of the year can be one of those years where I start to reflect or start to look forward to what are we going to do next, or what am I going to do next in life? So I think I'm just trying to enjoy this time. I often try to just enjoy this time, especially with family.
Yeah.
The nuclear family that I have, and a lot of planning and just trying to soak it all in, man, because life is precious. So I was going to mention, because Thanksgiving, I thought this might be important to throw out there with the holidays, and we tend to forget to be grateful for things. One thing that people will do in program is sobriety and life, I think, is creating a gratitude list. I don't know if you wake up every day and kind of go through a gratitude list of what I'm grateful for, but I would challenge any of our viewers that are listening or watching or both at the same time. Why don't you get up tomorrow and write down 5 to 10 things you're grateful for. If you're struggling with that, maybe you didn't take a deeper look, but there's a lot of things to be grateful around us at all times. We take a lot of things for granted. So, I'm thankful for you with Thanksgiving coming. I'm thankful for so many things. I guess I'm kind of blessed.
Yeah, you are blessed, brother.
Thanks, man.
And another way to look at that, by the way, is to really think about and even journal, what would life look like if I had no legs, if I had no money, if I didn't know what I was going to eat today?
Yeah.
What would life look like if I didn't have a car to get to work today?
Yeah.
Or a job to get to today, right? Like really challenging your mind to look at, because we do have a lot. It doesn't matter what level of finances, what level of social economic status, where what country we're in. Like we have a lot to our disposal, and I always shout this man out. But Viktor Frankl talks about that, like that in the desperate of times, like you can take anything away from a man except their will to create meaning out of wherever they are in their life. So that's what gratitude lists are all about, brother.
Yep. Well said, man. So that's why I'm checking in this week on Mr. Therapist and the Counselor podcast. Question of the week. You want to go for that right now? Go for the jugular?
Go for it.
We got a question for the week?
Yeah. Should we do? Yeah, we want to do that. Let's do it.
Well, you said it's about.
It's about men's mental health.
It's not about. It's not men's mental health.
It is men's mental health month.
No, it's not, dude.
Are you just gonna
That's fine. We're not gonna dismiss it.
You're gonna lie. You're gonna give misinformation out there.
No. Okay. So, all right. Do you want to? Okay. Let's do that article.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that article, which I mentioned 2 weeks ago? You want to talk about that first?
My article or your article?
Your article.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about it.
My article for the December episode.
We're so organized.
We are, bro. Look, we're just carefree, dog. Yeah. We just do it. That's why people love us.
We flow it. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring this up. I wanted to get your reaction to this because this hits close to home.
Yeah.
LA
Times article. Yeah, Manny was like, we got to talk about this, and I was like, okay, let's. What you got here, man? Because when Manny's got something, I want to hear about it.
So we're in Southern California here, and there is a Santa Margarita Catholic High School, or pretty close to us here, and it says LA Times football player alleges he was assaulted by teammates at Santa Margarita Catholic High School. A 15-year-old, I guess, was going into the locker room, and as he was entering, there was a lot of people like smacking on the lockers and turning the lights off, and someone yelled, "Get him!" And I guess they were sort of touching, yanking, grabbing, pulling, and twisting his genitals. And so I just wanted to talk about this because I had a reaction to it, and I wanted to see if you would as well, because one, it's just like it feels like it just happened in my backyard.
Yeah.
With me living so close to this high school, and then two, like I think it's just a very relevant and needed discussion to have for parents that have kids that are going to school. We had episodes about bullying before, or for anyone who's experiencing any bullying type of thing, or even like harassment. Like this is just next level. You know, type of stuff. But do you have a reaction to any of this at all? Or
I think I whenever you called me about the article, which it is like it was very sad to hear that hazing is still can be very prominent.
Yeah.
I kind of want, like I said, I asked you like kind of direction on why this impacted you, and like I'm not saying like it didn't like stick out to me. I have kids, so. And I watch my daughter on the little daycare cam, and I'm keeping an eye on her because there could come a point in time where a kid might be aggressive towards her or don't know how to control their emotions and act out even at a very, very young age. So, but I was like wondering in the mental health thing, like you want to kind of, I guess you asked me a question, I should probably answer it. I guess it's what speaks to me is that. Kind of an episode we covered, or we talked about a little bit of the bullying thing. I think that's a prominent thing. Is like kids just they're not being shown direction. I think at an early age, I think there's not an opportunity to like be present for kids, and in a lot of ways we conform to different things in society, and they can be very unhealthy things. So like, I feel like this is. Possibly some type of tradition, right, with this school, right? I'm guessing, like, at least the football team, right? So, like, hazing, just like, colleges used to do it, maybe still, present day, more quietly, but, like, to be a part of this, you have to take this on the chin.
Right.
So, and it's kind of a rite of passage for people, and I guess, I'm kind of talking as I'm thinking about it, but, like, I guess... In some form, Manny, don't you believe that if somebody starts a job somewhere, do you feel like they kind of have to earn their stripes, or do you feel like you're automatically on the team? I laugh because like as soon as I said that, I was like, I feel like, oh shit. I was like, this could be like, maybe I assumed what you're gonna say. Like, but I'll ask you the question again. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I think that's maybe a little black and white.
okay, maybe I want to.
I say you're on the team.
You're on the team,
but
hired,
like
right?
you got to earn my trust.
Okay. Oh, that's good. I
Yeah.
like that. Right. So, do you feel like this is what this event was about? Like, we're a brotherhood, so you have to take some punishment to really show that. I mean, it's almost. I guess. Okay, this is good because I think it's like, is this how we say like, you're a part of our like our group, our team, like. For us to trust you, we have to put you through some type of like physical pain.
I don't know. I know that it's not found that it was like something hazing or that it happens to every person in the team. I know that like someone said that they had experienced this before.
Yeah.
So it could potentially be something like that, like a rite of sort of entrance right into like our football team. But I don't know. Like, I guess the way you're asking me that question, I'm like, I don't want to validate that. Like, I don't want to be like, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Like, no, it's not.
I wasn't thinking. I wasn't even trying to set you up for that though, because I know you don't think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, but what did you say? Like, this is the way to do that. This is the way to.
This is their culture, though. I guess.
That's It sounds it sounds like a problem with the culture of that school, right? And that gets created by the people and the students who are on the team.
Yeah.
But I think it also gets created by the parents who are supervising that, you know. And
it all goes back to the parents every single time. But it does, though.
It does.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not
totally.
It does. It's our initial leaders, like, and that's who, you know. So.
Well, when I send my kid to school, like, I'm putting a lot of trust in those adults.
Yes, you are.
You know what I mean? And like, I'm putting a lot of trust in them to see, like, if they see something, to say something. If they, like, if something's happening with my kid, like, I better hear it from you. You know. And I remember actually, something had happened with my daughter where she had to talk to like one of the school counselors or therapists there, and like I didn't get a call back, but I knew that they had to go because I talked to my daughter and the office told me. But I was like, this therapist didn't call me back. Like, I need to know, like, what did you talk to my daughter about? Like, you know, like, what happened? And so it's just this part of me, like, I think with parents, like, we have to be not helicopter parents, but like, we got to be in the know, man. We got to like know what's going on with our kids. And if this is going, there's signs of it. If this is going on, there's signs of it. You know, kids are probably presenting a certain way, anxious, quiet, scared, intimidated, and like as parents, adults, I think we gotta be on the lookout for those signs. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question. I was just more thinking like, I don't know. I guess I had a reaction to like, I don't know if like I want to say that's a way to gain trust. I don't think it is.
I don't know. I mean, it made me think. I'll just share this because it's an interesting story. But when I was a kid, I was growing up in Fontana, and gangs were starting to become a little more prevalent. It was the late 80s. I guess gangs were probably already prevalent in like Southern California, more like LA area. And I remember it was African American community, black community. I'm white. Hey, I'm white, everybody. And you know, I don't think there's a lot of Hispanic.
He's black Irish.
Thank you for saying that joke. That popped in my head as well. But I remember, like at the time, I think gangs were so popular. They were like, I remember there was a group of kids that were like, "We're forming a gang," and I was like, "What? What's going on here?" And to get in the gang, is what they would do is they would put you in the middle, and they would jump you, and beat you up for about like a minute. And I can't remember if you could fight back or not, but I was asked, like, do you want to be in the gang? Do you want to, like, get jumped in? And I'm not always the smartest person, but I remember I was at the basketball court, and I was playing with my friend there, and he's like, hey, are you going to be in the gang? Because I think he had got jumped in. My initial response was like, I'm not dumb, like, or I'm not stupid. I was like, I don't want somebody to beat me up for a minute. I was like, I'm going to move in about a month anyways, which I was moving away from Fontana. But I remember I had to, like, the insight to, like, realize, like, maybe, this wasn't going to be a long-term thing. But I also was like, is that, I think part of me, I'm reflecting right now, is like, is that what I need to do to be like embraced and loved by you? Is like there has to be like a physical passage like of right, or with like with you, and like sports is a physical thing, and I think in sports, maybe football in particular, you have to be tough, you have to be strong, so maybe hazing, in a sense, is like we can haze, we can give people a hard time, but no, like yes, football is probably one of the most physically demanding sports. It probably is the most physical. Well, I don't want to say that, but it is. It's like we see so many like people fall out of after they retire, the physical ailments that they have, the mental. So, my long-winded response is that like fuck hazing. Yeah, no, that's good. Let's throw that out the window. Like that's some old school mentality. Like as you said, like I made the example of like if you get hired on a job, are you part of the team or you got to earn your stripes? No, you're part of the team. Sure, you might feel like this person, you're here, but like you got to contribute in some way to, but you are on the team, and treat people that they don't. I think that creates it's a bad culture, totally unhealthy culture.
And it's interesting just on what you just shared about yourself. I think like that's what happens a lot of times with gang members, right? It's like this is a gang is a family that accepts you, right? And so you got to prove yourself to enter the family, right? And earlier we said like, it's all on the parents. Well, it is on the parents because I think it's on us to, as parents, to teach our kids about that, right? And that like to help them feel loved and accepted enough that they don't feel like they need that, or that we can talk about that if they feel like they do, and so
kids enter gangs. My experience working with people or being around people growing up, like if there's a lack of like direction or purpose, they're gonna go to something that is loyal, and gangs can be very loyal. There is a very loyal, scary loyalty when it comes to gangs. So people, but they want that so badly. They didn't have that in their home setup. So they'll turn to that. They'll turn to drugs and alcohol. So all kinds of things that are unhealthy. But it's just it's a very sad culture, and when something, it's such a young kid too, right? High school, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, 15 years old.
Yeah, man, that's got to be that's to bully people. We live in a society where people get so entertained by trolling or whatever, they still call it that. They still call it trolling.
Yeah, that's it, dude.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, but it's just like, it's just so, I don't know. That's your outlet is to like create, like talk shit, or like it's always still fascinating too, trolling, where people like you'll go online and people just say the meanest things to people. There was maybe this is real quickly mental health wise, like I talked about Chester Bennington, is that his name? Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. He committed suicide years ago, hung himself. He was in the band Linkin Park. Linkin Park just came back out. They have a new lead singer, who's a female singer. But I'm gonna speak more to the point. Is like his son, Chester's son, spoke up and was said like he was bothered by the fact that his dad was replaced in the band, and he has a right to have opinion. His dad is like Linkin Park, is a huge part of that band, and he was sharing how he went online, he shared his opinion, and people were telling him he should die because he made that opinion about his father, who was a huge part of that band. And it's just like people, their outlets sometimes, I mean, still present day, they use online formats to like share their frustrations by degrading other people. It's just like, once again, it starts all at the family, right? Like if you found a better way to like communicate with people, like I see things online. Sometimes I just want to talk shit because it's fun to talk shit. But a lot of times I have that impulse control where I'm like, I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm like, I'll keep that opinion to myself.
Yeah,
and because I don't need to hurt other people with my words. So.
No, 100%, man.
Yeah. So. But anything else you want to talk about on this article here?
No, that's it. I just think, and then if since it is so close to our community, if anyone is affected by any of it, definitely go talk to someone.
If your kid was getting hazed, how would you handle it, Mr. Therapist?
Oh, dude, that would break my heart. I think. I would. I think I would talk to the people, to the teacher. If it was at this level, you mean?
Yeah.
If it was at this level, I would probably try to escalate this as far as I could. I'd definitely probably pull my child out of that school.
Yeah.
and we would be doing some family therapy just to be able to like process this, because it would be hard on me. It would be hard on my wife.
Yeah.
And I know it'd obviously be hard on my child. So we would definitely try to figure out like our way to go. How do we talk about this as a family? What do we do with, for me, the anger that comes up, and because I would probably have a lot of anger.
I would probably have the same initial feeling.
Yeah.
So
then I wouldn't want it to be maladaptively used, like I wouldn't want to take it out on anyone in the family or even any of these other kids, because gosh, dude, I read this book called The Cabin, spiritual book, and one of the main things that I struggle with at times is this book really challenges you to think of like, someone you're upset at, is it really their fault, or is it the influence that someone had in their life, and who do you end up getting mad at the end of the day, right? It's like, so as much as you want someone to pay for a wrong that they've done to you, when you really look at it, there's so many layers of people that have influenced that person and gotten them to do the things that they do, that it's like, it almost like challenges you of like, are you going to make them pay for something that, they think they don't know how they're hurting you, so I don't know, it's kind of crazy. So I just
that crazy. It's pretty good actually, because I think that sometimes people want to put a face to an experience.
Yeah.
I've had people say to me like, "You caused me to relapse," like working in the field, because I can be very direct with people, and I challenge people, I question things. So I've had I remember having clients say like, "Yeah, I went out and drank because of you," and I was just like, "Oh wow," I'm sure that face, that experience in that moment, but it probably brought something up for them. But it was far deeper, I mean, did it personalize it? Yeah, of course, because they named you. Like, you are part of my experience. But there's got to be something else to that, right? Like,
totally.
Yeah. So it's I think there's a lot of truth with that. But it's hard though. Once again, if it's the face, you're like, I want to blame. We like to blame other things.
I want to blame this kid, or I want to blame his parents, or I want to.
It's hard to take. Look at who's responsible in the moment when there's probably so many other parts that are to blame. But if there's like a main source, then like let's
it's easy to
off with its head, but
for sure.
All right, man.
All right, moving on.
Question of the week.
Question of the week. Men's mental health. Question of the week. This is a good one. All right, Jesse O.
And Manny Romero.
I've tried couples counseling.
Shit.
And it feels like it was just an opportunity for my wife to complain about me. Is this normal? Is this what it's supposed to be? How do I deal with this?
Okay.
Dang. It's tough. That's a real question, dude. That's a real person right there.
It is. Because the other ones are all AI bots or what? Like, all our questions are genuine.
No, I'm just like, I'm just appreciating the realness of that. You know what I mean? Like, because I think, we are big advocates for therapy, and we want you to go to therapy, and we want you to talk to someone, but sometimes people try to go to therapy, and people try to talk to someone, and they don't end up having a good experience. Like, that's a legit experience. That's a legit. That's real.
Common thread of people having poor experiences at therapy, couples therapy. Could be a lot of different things. Could be the person that they work with, like, wasn't in their best moment. Maybe it wasn't good set up for them. Good connection, lack of connection. So. Let's see here. I'll be pretty I'm gonna go with the viewer, this person right now. So yeah, there's a good chance that your wife is probably for the first time finding a way to communicate. So it sounds like she's just dumping it all out. Have you ever met anybody before where they're just like, they don't ever share, they don't get to communicate, they're frustrated, they're angry, so they finally have a sounding board. They're not their best selves, right? A lot of times they're just gonna they're gonna go for it. They're gonna go for they're just gonna dump it all out there. I have an opportunity. Yeah, they're like, I have an opportunity to this is my stage. So, and if you're in couples therapy and that's like the setup, like I could see how the partner, the individual here, the man, or I
think this is the man. Yeah. My wife. So yeah.
Yeah. So I would could be a lesbian.
But it's Men's Mental Health.
True. Lesbians Mental Health Month is coming our way.
True, could be. Yeah.
You want to Google that? We don't have time. But like so yeah. Listen. Yeah, I'm a valid. Like that could be some of the experience, and based on like I don't know the therapist that you're working with. Like there are times when the therapist, unfortunately, could potentially. I don't know if the therapist. I guess
it's
I can
me.
just
They're
ask
working
you.
with me. I'm just kidding.
Do you ever? You're not gonna say if you ever side with somebody. You probably do side with somebody, right?
When
Sometimes.
I'm in the room.
A little bit, not a lot of bit, but a little bit. Come on, be straight up.
I mean, there's definitely circumstances where I'm like, like that feels like that. I'll give you an example. It feels like you're being a little mean,
Okay.
But that's not a secret. Like I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sounds a little mean, like the way you said that,
Yeah.
and it's a good experience because the person might not even know they're coming off that way, but yeah, so that was your question to me. Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to say, what do you want to add to this question? Because I feel like, to reaffirm what I was saying, but yeah, like there should be solution with the couples therapy. I could see the first couple sessions maybe being something where it's like a dump fest, and it's like, but if you get it all out, maybe hopefully at that point in time, like, okay, we've dumped all this here on the table, so like let's start to sort this out now. You don't want to be going to therapy and just feel like it sounds like, at least for this person's experience, it isn't really like, it's not really going anywhere currently. I don't know how many sessions deep this person's in in couples therapy, but it sounds like there's not a lot of movement, so it might be time to take a look at like the length of stay in this experience, and is it really benefiting you? Because if you're going to therapy with a partner and you're just like kind of out in left field or right field, what's the saying? I don't fucking remember, but like not center field, but if you're out there and you're just kind of like
shortstop.
Yes. Should we go through every position? But yeah, I think there might be a time to take a look at it.
Yeah. So
what you got?
I think there's a few aspects to it I think about, and you mentioned a couple of them. I think number one, definitely a couple things happening. Either the therapist is not the right therapist, right? Like maybe they're just not the right for your situation. Maybe, I don't know how many sessions you've been going to. Maybe let us know if it's the first initial stage of therapy, like the counselor said. Like obviously, it might just feel like they're complaining about you because they have complaints about you. Like, and that's why you guys are going to therapy, right? And so let that process play out a little bit more if you're in the initial stages. If this is how it's been going for a long time, then yeah, like I would speak up. Like let the therapist know that you're feeling that way, or find a new therapist. I think sometimes partners need to increase their tolerance for like the complaints, be able to hear the complaints that their partner has about them, because that's important information. And for us to be able to solve an issue in a relationship, we have to be able to receive the data. How am I not showing up for you? How is it that I've let you down in some way? How is it that I've broken your trust in some way? So I can understand that, know that, and know how to work on that. So yeah, either you got to get better at like having some tolerance for a little complaining, especially if it's early on, and if this is the way your therapy's been going for like 30 sessions, then there's something wrong. It shouldn't be going like that. You should be improving. So that would be my my take. Don't give up on the relationship though. I would depending on what phase of therapy you are, either keep it going, see if it improves, or find a new therapist. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So.
I think constructive feedback is important to be able to take. Constructive feedback for me. It depends on the source. Still, I want to say I've gotten better with it. I could still be. I'm a very sensitive person, and it's probably you can be very sensitive whenever you're in a session with a couple, with a partner, and that person's supposed to have your back and be your better half. But to your point, I think it is important to be able like find a way to go, okay, like you guys are going to therapy for what, like for resolve. Hopefully, like people don't go to couples therapy if they're not trying to work on something.
Yeah.
So
I'm
not trying to like. I think we answered the person's question. It was a great question. Thank you for the submitting that to us. But just to further the conversation a little bit, like just learning constructive feedback is really important. I just know like. As I mentioned, the idea of like somebody was quite bothered, like you caused me to relapse. Like I've had a lot of people say like to me, I'm not trying to hype myself up here, but like the fact that I challenged them in some sort of way was like very conducive to their recovery and their sobriety and improvements in their mental health. So like, and a lot of times in life, people will say like, "Oh, can you be honest with me?" And people really don't want that. So I think hopefully in a couple session or in therapy in general, like you're practicing really being honest with somebody, and truth hurts. So like
100%.
welcome it. So
yeah.
Cool. So a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time left.
Just a little bit. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but
Let's transition.
I just meant just to cover, kind of maybe put a cap on the men's mental health thing. Being the holidays, I was thinking about this, like, for men traditionally, like when it comes to holidays, like, what is the role of a man when it comes to the holidays, like in the sense of like, how are we supposed to? I guess you can go a couple different ways with it, like. Are men supposed to provide still? Like, is there like an expectation during like Thanksgiving even of like how how men are supposed to be?
Yeah. It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah. I'm asking you.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Are men supposed to provide during the holidays? Like,
we could focus on Thanksgiving or just like
am I supposed to bring the turkey home? Absolutely. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like I think, in my household, like I feel like I'm the one that provides, and I had that coming into the holidays. Like I don't know if this is what you're asking, but I have the expectation. I get a little anxious. I get a little worried about like, damn, we got to give gifts, and I got to figure out the money on that, and who are we going to be able to give to? Who are we going to have to give you an IOU if you didn't get anything from me? You got an IOU. So yeah,
I got a bunch of those. Yeah,
that's what I think about. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I think no. I'm happy. I kind of just left it. I was like, the way I'm saying this, I'm not sure if it's like this smoothest, but like that's great, because to cap this off, I want to say like during Thanksgiving, whatever, Christmas, if you celebrate that, the holidays in general, I think there's like a bit of an expectation. You said it, expectation. This time of year, a lot of expectations are created of like, and maybe what we're supposed to be doing during the holidays, a lot of pressures. So I think for men, and men and women, but because it's a men's mental health discussion here, I think it's important to really just set yourself up for success. Having things in your life, which hopefully you feel valued already from self, but like you have things in your life, if it's support groups, if it's going to therapy, healthy family members, you're just you're taking care of yourself, because this time of year it can be very, very overwhelming. So just I think once again something we just talked about is like finding ways to talk about what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're not like, if it's Thanksgiving this year and you have a couple kids and you're not making the money that you want to be making, you're maybe struggling financially compared to last year, like there's that comparison and expectation that things are going to be every way this year, and that could be hard on men, women, whoever it is. So it's just like finding the resources to support the struggles during the holidays is like something that needs to be brought up like often. So
yeah, absolutely. Find yourself some help.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about this group. I don't know if you guys ran it. Maybe you ran it with like a former partner at yours at that facility that we worked together at in the family program. But there was this group called like Who's at Your Table. Does that sound familiar at all?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
But it's like, it's one of those, I guess maybe I think about Thanksgiving and the dinner table, but in your life in general, like who's at your table? Who's sitting right next to you? Like who are you allowing at the table with you? And that's something that's important, I think, to carry not only through the holidays, but through your life. It's just like having people at that table that are going to be, that keep you accountable, that are honest with you, that are loving and supportive. And as we continue throughout our journey of life, I think it's important to just like only reserve seats for the people that like are good for you in your life, and it could look in different ways. That we talked about being critical feedback. I think it's a supportive thing at the same time. So
yeah, for sure. It's a good question, dude. It's a good way to look at those people around you that are. What do they say? Like you. They say this in entrepreneur classes a lot. It's like you're the average of the 5 people you hang out around with the most. But if we flip that and we to think about your mental health, it's like, well, let's look at your environment. Is your environment contributing to your mental health?
Yeah.
The people around you, how do they make you feel?
Right.
Why do you keep showing up around them? Why do you keep them around you? And so if you could answer those questions, and if they're positive, then great. And if they're negative, then maybe some changes need to be made about who's invited to your table.
I'm going to screw up this Tupac quote. You ready for it?
Yeah. Sorry, mama.
Dear mama. No, I think Tupac once said something along the lines like something about allowing you to sit at his table. Like, just because I don't want you to sit next to me doesn't mean I don't want you to starve. It's kind of the idea of like I totally screwed up that quote, but like I think his idea is like, just because I'm not riding with you right now, I don't have you in my life right now, I don't want to see you fail. Sometimes success is gonna involves like eliminating people that just aren't a part of that, part of your lifestyle anymore. Yeah. So
very true, man.
Yeah, I gotta look up that Tupac quote.
Fact check.
Should have done it before.
Fact check him.
Okay, but yeah. So anything else, Mr. Therapist,
it's
before
good.
we get into this Thanksgiving weekend of bliss?
Happy Movember. Please subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Send us in your questions. Continue to do that, please. And yeah, man. Thank you so much for watching.
Gratitude, PMA. Check in on your friends. Tag it home today, and Jack greets you like I give a fuck. Are you surprised by that?